I think one of the greatest superpowers to any given social interaction is the ability to empathize. Empathy is basically the awareness, the recognition of what others might be thinking or feeling. And too often, when we engage with people, we might fail to actually recognize these certain subtleties. You might be talking to someone, you might see that they're a little bit in a haze, or their body language is a little bit tense, or they just are reacting in a way that's out of the norm. And too often we just brush it off. We fail to recognize, or we choose not to recognize, which ultimately creates a disconnection with the interaction. Creates space that is not necessarily positive. It has a negative, field of range. So it's important to recognize what is going on. If you want to be able to build a connection with someone, or have a greater relationship with a business partner, or a potential romantic partner, it's important to utilize certain skill sets, and in order to, increase that empathetic connection. One of the things that is so important with empathy is the ability to recognize facial expressions, body language, vocal tonality, physical expressions that manifest not only in yourself but in other people. Another thing that is so important to realize when you're empathizing with someone is the ability to decipher and build an association in terms of what is going on. If you recognize that someone is, in a bad mood, it's early in the morning, they look a little bit tired, it's safe to say they haven't had their first cup of coffee, or they probably had a lot of traffic on the way to work or school or whatever it may be. So you can be like, hey, what's going on? I see that you're like, you don't have any coffee or anything, and then they'll usually say, oh, it's nothing, or oh, this guy ran a red on me and we almost got in an accident, da 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 da, right? And recognizing, people will start to understand that you are looking out for them. And that's so vital. Empathy is so vital to building trust and building a connection. Because once you have someone looking out for you, it feels pretty good, right? It feels good knowing that someone's got your back, someone's a little bit worried for you, someone's like curious as to what's going on in your life. And it makes us feel good. Makes us feel important. And that's why it's so important to empathize with people, to recognize whether they're having a good day or a bad day, whether they're feeling uncomfortable, whether they're feeling very open and ready to embrace in a friendship, right? Or in being motivated to start that new business. It's a small thing that most people fail to recognize. It's so important though. It's like one of the most important things, when you're dealing with customers, when you're dealing with business partners, when you're dealing with friendship, family, romantic partners. It's so important. And so what I would propose to you is, do you empathize enough with the people around you? Are you looking for certain things that might be important that you're possibly missing out? If you're having a little bit of trouble in your relationship, or your business partner, you are kind of like at each other's hair, right? You're not able to fully, come to an understanding. What are you missing? What is missing that needs to be brought up? If you need to talk about certain issues, do it from a place of understanding, of empathy, and resolve the issue that might be going on. If you're meeting someone new, it's a good way to, it's a good way to build a strong foundation when using empathy. Building a strong foundation is vital for any new relationship or potential endeavor that you might endure. So that is what I want to leave you with, is ask yourself those questions. Am I being empathetic enough? Am I, taking others into consideration? Do I understand their story or their side of the argument? And you'll see that there's a lot more progress, there's a lot more growth within the interaction. So try it out, and Tell me what happened. Let me know what happened down in the comments, or if you feel like this helped you, leave a little summary of your story, and let's see where it goes. All right. Catch you guys next time.